I mean, they all came in and very few knew the rest of them. Shannon is only less than 10,000 people.
Yes, yeah.
And some women never met the lads before that they sat beside.
Wow.
So it is very good for them.
So it's a huge social element to it as well.
Oh, it is massive social, yeah. It's a €10 membership, but that's just to cover the insurance.
I see.
Because our insurance went from 350 up to 1,350 due to having a saw on the premises.
Okay.
And as I keep telling the insurance crowd that only about 7-10 people might use the equipment. The other 44 lads would just sit down and have a chat, which is what the shed is all about anyway, just for them to come in and have a talk. When I started first, we had a place below in Ballycasey Craft Centre, and it was used by other groups in the community, so that we couldn't actually make nothing there. We just sit down and have a tea and a chat. But then we got onto the Shannon Commercial Properties, and we got this building 3 years ago, actually 3 years ago exactly, this last month. And they looked after us. Now anything that had to be done to the building, we had to do it ourselves. And we have a license to use it from year to year. So hopefully we'll be here for a long time. Well, when we came in here, it was idle from '08, so it got the worst of winters. It was all damp, wet, so we had to clean it from the bottom to the top. Clean it out, paint it up. We got new windows and doors up there in the meeting room. Thanks to the Clare County Council Rapid programme, we got 11,500, and we extended the heating down here as well. We had no heating in the workrooms. We got all new LED lights, so we're saving ourselves money there as well with all the new LED lights. So it is all thanks to local business people and Clare County Council, and we'll be lost without them, and they're very good to us. All retired now. Jarlath, you're semi-retired.
It was, yeah.
Yes, we have one semi-retired, the rest of them are all retired.
Okay. And what did men do in Shannon before the men's chest?
Walk around the town. There wasn't much to do because we haven't got a cinema. Now we've been promised a cinema in the town centre, so we're still waiting for that. It's supposed to be up and running, I think, next year, in 2019. Well, I've noticed I got very busy now since I took it over, because you're kept going. There's always people looking for some help.
It's a good thing.
Oh, this is a great thing, like, yeah. It keeps us busy, it keeps us out of trouble. So, the wives are happy, so it's a win-win situation. Well, Shannon now won the Pride of Place out of 32 counties this year, and we helped out by painting some of the local businesses, places that was closed down.
Okay.
Like the old ASB office, and painted up the flower pots around the town. Add a bit of colour, yeah, which was badly wanted.
Well, we're non-crime focused, so basically we deal with mainly groups that the guards wouldn't normally have primary dealings with, so senior citizens, schools, primary, secondary, third level schools. We do creches as well the odd time if we're asked to go in and give a little talk. But I suppose it's
there's a schools program that we deliver to all the schools in our area, dealing with stuff like road safety, personal safety,
internet safety, mobile phone safety.
Yeah.
Very big now, yeah.
Yeah.
Very popular, yeah. Basically whatever's relevant. We also give safety talks for parents then as well.
Okay.
Drugs talks, and again the mobile phone and internet safety talks specifically for parents.
Okay.
And there's a more advanced version of that then for the College of Hotel Management up in the airport.
I see, okay.
So third level as well. A lot of crime prevention.
Setting up neighbourhood watches in different areas of Shannon. Trying to have the whole of Shannon covered with a neighbourhood. Each estate or area would have their own neighbourhood watch area,
Okay.
and we would liaise with people in those neighbourhood watches. If there's any issues from the public, that they can come to us and we could help sort them.
We actually have a very good working relationship with the schools. Schools come to us looking for advice on a lot of different things, and because Shannon is unusual in that it has a much more, I suppose, of a large housing estate feel rather than a sort of town feel. People are much more easier talking to each other, much more comfortable talking to each other.
Okay.
So we have a very good working relationship with the public. like most of the school children in Shannon would know myself and Noel by first name, and their parents would get to know us through their kids. Every school gets a minimum 3 visits a year.
And today you're for the older people?
For the older people in the community, exactly. It's a nice day out for them around the Christmas time, you know.
And what do you do, have tea and Vicky's or something to eat?
We'll have tea and biscuits, there'll be hot food, we'll have desserts.
Okay.
Local businesses have kindly donated to spot prizes for a raffle. And of course, without Wolf Tones, the Shona GA Club, it wouldn't be possible to hold it, you know.
They're providing the facility for us, and
Yeah.
everything that you see, it's great that we're able to do it here. We wouldn't be able to have it otherwise. So.
Okay.
But it's all goodwill from the local businesses, the local community, so it's great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is this an annual event?
It is now.
It is, yeah.
So last year was the first year, and we just keep it going because it works so well. So. But I mean, a lot of people, particularly as you get older, they tend to not leave the house as much. So anything we can do to get them out.
Yeah.
And in days gone by, there's a lot of retired guards living in Shannon who would have worked here, and they would have lived here and been part of the community. So the locals would have known them anyway. But that has changed. And, very few guards live in the area. Noel's one of the few guards who lives in the area. So it gives us an opportunity to meet them. But it also gives the guards that are working on the regular, they'll be down here as well, giving us a hand today. So they'll get to meet the local people as well. So they'll be able to put faces to names and, you know, not just the uniform.
Of course, Christmas can be a lonely time as well, you know, for some older people who, if they're living on their own, it's a great outlet for them.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Christmas is just a magical time of year here at Bunratty. I mean, I've never more excited than, you know, in October, November, building right up to Christmas. And every year it seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think we do add, at least we certainly try to add a little bit more magic every year. And I believe we've certainly added the magic this year. We've brought in a number of new initiatives, like the ice rink that you saw on the way in. I mean, it's really, you know, been wonderful for people. They're really enjoying it and they're spinning around in there. And of course this year we introduced breakfast with Santa at the castle, and that's just gone down a big treat. That was over 2 mornings, and the children just loved meeting Santa for breakfast. And so when he arrived into the room, the whole place erupted with cheers, and it's just lovely to see people so happy at this time of year. And I just think even right throughout the year, the folk park has a touch of magic around it, but certainly at this time of year it surpasses everyone's expectations. And I really believe we have the best, you know, animators, the best characters, the best elves even, and you know, people are clamouring to come back year after year. Our elves just love coming back all the way from the North Pole, and you know what, they're even better fun and in better spirits every year. And you've just met Mike there, our wonderful Shanachie, as we know him as Tommy Joe. People just love his yarns and stories. We have the storytelling here next door. We have Santa's Grotto. We just have all the amenities, the carousels, the bouncy castles. And you know, we're adding to it, as I said, every year. This year we also introduced our panto. It came back again this year. So a great team on board there. So we're just having a great time. I have to say, everyone's really enjoying it. You know, you can spend a full day here at any time of the year, but certainly this time of year, particularly in the evening, it's absolutely magical with all the lights and everything. I mean, there's 2 aspects to the visit. You have the 15th century castle and you have the 19th century folk park, but at Christmas time we really transform it into a winter wonderland. As you can see, the snow is on all the roofs, the lights are twinkling everywhere. We seem to add lots more lights every year. I don't know where they come from, but the guys, our maintenance team here, they're so fantastic, the work that they put into putting it all together. And you know, we have a great support team here, so we're very, very lucky. And you know what, people come back year after year after year, and you know, that is testament to what a good event it is. And this year we're welcoming over 28,000 people, would you believe? Even far more than last year. I think we had about 24,000 last year. And you know, their bookings are still coming in. We also we're operating our event at King John's Castle as well this year, and we're expecting about 5,000 visitors there. So all told, we're just, you know, we can't praise Christmas time enough, and all our super team involved.
Just to fill you in the picture, I am Tommy Joe Corrie. as I said to you, Bernie coming in, that's my father's name on the door, John Joe. I had such respect for my father that I left his name over the door. I'm Tommy Joe Corrie. And what I always tell people is there's a reason for everything here. There's a circle of magic here. And we all have special jobs. And the reason I'm here as Tommy Joe Corrie is that my sister is married to Santa Claus. Before she married Santa Claus, she was Hannah Mariah Corrie, and she came out of this house here. And the reason Santa hangs around here at Christmas time is that she likes to come home for Christmas.
She does.
And what I always tell people, just to make sure, because you never ask a woman her age, that's one thing you'd never do.
Oh, don't do that.
Jeepers, you'd never. So I tell them my age, and most of them are clever enough. Sometimes the Tipperary crowd mightn't be clever enough, but most others would be. And I'll be 99 myself on the 28th of January 2019.
And you're looking very old.
And, oh jeepers, you're saying the right things. Now, my wife is Bridgie, so wait till she comes back, and I'll say that again. And you can say, by God, you're looking well on it, Tommy Joe. I'm married to Bridgie, and as I said, there's a magic circle here. Before I married Bridgie, her name was Bridgie Scrooge. She was Ebenezer Scrooge's sister. And I always say to people, I might as well have married the two of them. And lots of people don't know where the Scrooges came from, but I tell you, the Scrooges came from Wexford. Now, I'll be 99, the 28th of January, and I reared, myself and Bridgie, reared 17 children here. We actually had 16, myself and Bridgie. She'd one of her own. And they're all gone. I know the camera isn't on the girl that's here now, but that's Celeste that's here beside me. And she's here because she never went away. Maybe that's why they haven't the camera on you, huh? Maybe there was nothing in there, I don't know, but she stayed at home anyhow. But the reason that I'm here is that when I turned 90, I wasn't mature enough until I reached the age of 90, a job I always wanted all my life. And you've all heard of the good list and the bad list.
We have.
And the naughty and the nice list. That's my job. I was mature enough. My brother-in-law called me in when I was 90 years of age and said, Tommy Joe, you're now mature enough, take over the books. So I look after the good list, the bad list, and the naughty and the nice. And you see what I do with it, I didn't realise until I got the job. It's not just about young people, it's about every single one of us. And there's a few adults here now, so it's about every single one of us. So I don't just check the book for the children, I check for the grown-ups as well.
Oh.
And the big thing I discovered when I got the job was that it's not about bad with Santa, it's always about good with Santa. But when I have the adults here, I have to tell the truth. There is black marks. And I tell them that one black mark is 11 times worse than awful, 27 times worse than terrible, and 44 times worse than horrendous. That's one black mark. And unfortunately, when there's a group of people here, adults, there's usually one or two of them with black marks in the book.
Do you see many black marks now?
I'd have to put my head down because I'd hate to embarrass somebody, but I can see a big red face here because there's somebody with 11 black marks in the book. Imagine, that's how serious that is.
Oh my goodness.
But what I tell the little children, nobody's perfect. I think we all know that nobody's perfect. And there's never black marks in the book for the children because children are the same now as they are when I was young, and that's a long, long time ago. And there is never black marks for the children, but there are some grey marks, little grey areas that they can improve in. And what I do is I tell them how you get the grey marks so that they won't have any more grey marks in the book. Because I'm going to get rid of them before they leave here, but I don't want any more grey marks in the book. So I tell them, and I'd look around at them and tell them, there's actually ways of getting a single grey mark, there's ways of getting a double grey mark, and there's ways of getting a triple grey mark. You'd get a double grey mark if Mammy or Daddy said, stay in your own bed tonight, don't be coming into our room. Go out to the bathroom and wash your teeth. Going out to pretend you wash your teeth. You get a double grey mark if Mammy says to you, turn off the light in your bedroom. If you don't if you just turn it off, you get a grey mark if you don't. But if you turn it off and when you hear the door closing, turn it back on again, you get a double grey mark for that. Most serious offence, of course, is fighting. 3 grey marks for fighting. But I explain the grey marks, get rid of the grey marks, and I ask them if they've written a letter to Santa Claus. And if they've written a letter to Santa Claus, I tell them what Santa does. When he gets the letter, he doesn't look at any grey marks. It's all about good. It's all about black books with white marks. And every time they're nice to somebody, they get a white mark in the black book. And I've had children here who have filled books full of white marks because children are not bad. So I explain about the good, not about the bad. And when they get the letter, when Santa gets the letter, he will just look at the black books with the white marks. And the only problem you have then is Santa will want to bring you the present you asked him for, when you write him, when you have all the white marks in the book. But nobody knows where Santa begins. And if Santa begins for these young people are, you never know where he'll begin. But if he began where you are living, Bernie, he'd be on the roof of your house very early. And because of all the white marks, you have your presenters ready. But if you're not in bed, he can't come in.
Of course.
And he's got to go around and come back again. Because there's no way that anyone would leave you out. So he wouldn't leave you out, he'd go around and come back again. And I tell them how big exactly his round is. And Santa's round is 378,000 times bigger than from here to Ballyhaunis twice. So you can imagine when he gets back the second time.
That's a long
There's
way.
but there's a chance he wouldn't have the present you asked him for. But you wouldn't be upset. Because usually the little children are so nice that they wouldn't be upset. But Santa would be upset because of all the white marks you have. That's why you go to bed early. And if you go to bed early and sleep all night, won't you be in great form on Christmas Day? And if you're not, when you get up Christmas morning, if you're awake half the night, you'll be like a briar. What happens then is you make Mammy and Daddy like briars. And you don't need to draw that down on yourself. That's what the marks are about. I explained that to them. And then we have a bit of a little sing-song. We might sing Jingle Bells, as you know, Bernard.
there's some great singers, I've
we
heard them,
have some great, and they would entertain themselves. And you can have great crack here. And if people drink a few drinks, you know, we have drink here as well. And if they have a few drinks, I'm doing bed and breakfast upstairs as well. You know that?
You've had a few stay, I understand, yes.
The night of the toy show, we had 35 people here. Because we got in a big screen upstairs for the late day toy show. And we all set up in the bed. We had 35 in the bed. We've only the one old bed. But everyone gets breakfast.
And weren't they cosy in the one bed?
Well, I was on one end and Bridgie was at the other end, so as nobody would fall out. And we're kind of en suite now as well. You know, we before if the kidneys weren't good and you got up 10 times in the night, you'd have to go out that door behind me. And on a cold, miserable night, it's hard to be going out 10 or 12 times. But we're en suite. There's a big pot under the bed. And all we have to do is get somebody to empty that every morning.
Every modern convenience.
Every morning. But when there's a lot in the bed, the potty fills fast.
I imagine.
So what I do is get one of the young people that'll be up early in the morning to empty the pot. And I give them the instructions of when they're emptying the pot of, you know, there's a few young people now have no experience of emptying potties. Like I'm not saying there's anyone old enough here, but there's definitely one maybe that would have experience. And when you're emptying a pot, you must be careful coming down the stairs, number one, that you don't spill it. If there's a lot in the bed, the pot will be full in the morning. And when you go out that door, you don't empty the pot until you've checked the wind.
Very wise.
Yeah, because you don't want the potty coming back in your face.
No.
And the other thing I warn them here is there's a hen house just outside that door. Don't throw the potty in there because they want the eggs for our breakfast in the morning. That's the instructions.